Hi, everyone. I'm Christine Tulley, President and Executive Writing Coach of Defend, Publish, and Lead, and welcome to episode 204, More December Writing Strategies. Yes, my voice is still scratchy if you listened to it last week, and that's because I had to do two episodes in a row because of the Thanksgiving holiday in the US. So I apologize. Hopefully, I'll have a wonderful voice by the time we get to episode 205. This episode will be relatively short, but I want to build on something that we've done for the last couple years and is actually my favorite holiday tradition with Defend, Publish, and Lead. But we always do a free webinar called December Writing Strategies. We are going to do that again. We're going to do it Wednesday, December 4th at noon Eastern. It is completely free. And you can get this on Eventbrite. So if you go over to Defend, Publish, and Lead on Eventbrite, and register for December Writing Strategies. You can attend live or you can get the recording. And every year we build on some of the past content that we had. This year, as a little sneak peek, I am going to say something about AI in there. So you don't have to attend live. You can just get the recording of the workshop, but we encourage everybody to go. And that's our free webinar for December. Also, I want to say a couple other December writing strategies that I don't know if I've mentioned in any of our other previous episodes. I'll make sure I link to the other December writing episodes in our show notes because, like I said, it's something that's been really fun to do every year. But here's a couple of things that I'm putting in that aren't, let's just say they're writing adjacent strategies to help me get a little bit more out of December. So I mentioned in the last episode being sick, it made me really behind on a book proposal that I want to get in before the holiday break. So for me, my sort of hard stop with working in December is December 20th. I want to make sure no matter what, everything is finished by then. And so for me, I really have to think about how I'm going to work through December. So one of the strategies we always talk about in that workshop, this is not the only one, so come to the workshop anyway, because there'll be lots of other things too. But my favorite one is always looking at December and just drawing big old X's through any days that you just cannot write. You just can't. Like if you're celebrating any of the end of the season holidays, you can X those off. If you know you've got some travel, X those off. You're just admitting to yourself, okay, yes, December is 31 days, but only 7 really are available for writing. So that's a strategy I'll be doing again with myself. It's not that you can't have days where you said there's no writing, but then an hour opens up, or maybe there's a half hour to get some scholarly reading done. What we're looking at here are any days that would be the only prime days in December to get some work done. So I will be doing that again. But I also want to mention a couple other things that I don't know if I actually put into that webinar content. Maybe I did, or I might add them. But one of the things I like to do in December is just in general switch the feel of writing. And what I mean by that is that I just do a couple of things. I'm Catholic. I celebrate Christmas, so I do the things for Christmas. And so for me, one of the things that I do in December is I switch over to just some instrumental Christmas music when I write. So instead of using my acoustic guitar, because I play guitar, which is always, I always like to listen to acoustic guitar just because then sometimes I pay more attention to that instead of writing sometimes. So I have to shift to something else. But I do like to do, that's kind of my go-to, or some jazz or something like that during the year. But instrumental Christmas of some sort will be, it could be more like classical, it could be strings, whatever it is. I just try to have that as my background to write. I also try to have some kind of like Christmassy mug going on just for the 1 month. So I talked about this with one of our other clients just randomly, but my family always had a holiday, kind of a holiday tradition of using Christmas dishes. Like we would just switch out dishes from regular dishes to Christmas ones just for the month of December. And so those dishes were passed down to me. So I know I'll be able to use, a holiday mug to drink my coffee out of when I'm motoring through lots of pages of a manuscript. And no, those two things aren't going to necessarily move my writing faster. But one of the things that I would argue is sort of a mistake academics make is in December, we sometimes pretend holidays aren't happening, or other people aren't feeling festive, or other, holiday celebrations aren't going on around us. And you might not celebrate any of the winter holidays. So, but you still probably see around you other people that are doing that. And by just sort of burying ourselves in work and trying to like plug through, A lot of times it's just really, it's either distracting because in the back of your mind, like, yeah, like especially if you have children at home, you're in the US, you celebrate Christmas, you might in the back of your mind know, I still got to buy those 5 Christmas presents, or I've got all this other stuff happening. And it's really hard to pretend the holidays aren't happening in the name of academic work. So I'm not saying go crazy and don't write anything in December. We're doing a whole webinar how to get some writing done. So that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is doing some little touches in your writing practice that could recognize, yeah, this is a different month. And if nothing else, it's the last month of the calendar year. So, that alone is a reason to possibly celebrate. You've been alive on the planet a lot more, months than you were before, like whatever your reason is. But just something a little bit special to kind of round out the end of the year, I think can be a way to just sort of recognize it, but still get some writing done. So those are just some little things that I'm kind of thinking about. One other one I'll throw out there that's a little bit more personal to me, but I think might be relevant to some other people. I know I kind of change up in December what time of day I write. Partly this is because where I am in Ohio, in the US, and it gets dark by 5 o'clock. So it's really, really dark by then. And it's also very dark in the morning, so it's not like you can start earlier and get some light. But one of the things that I've tried to do also is to start writing slightly earlier, because I'm finding at the end of the day, even though it's only 5 o'clock, it seems like the middle of the night to me because it's so dark. So I'm not able to like write super late into the afternoon because I can already kind of sense that the light is changing. So if that affects you at all, I might pay attention to the light a little bit and see if there's a way that you can either write a little bit earlier or write maybe, in places with a little bit more natural light when it's time to actually do some writing. But that's something that I'm just playing with a little bit this time of year. So hopefully these tips help, and please don't forget to click our show notes and check out our Eventbrite December 4th. December writing strategies, totally free. You just have to register to attend live or get the recording. And happy writing this week.